It doesn't matter. Now they're going to hear all this because it's going to the feed. Mics are open.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first, I guess this would be the first official episode of the Star Wars Time Show D&D Extravaganza. I am Nick. If you are a follower of the Star Wars Time Show, you know I'm one of the hosts. I will be your dungeon master, your game master, your galaxy master throughout this entire game. And I am joined here by three good friends of mine who will be our players. So first off, we have Matt with us. Matt is the second host of the Star Wars Time Show, the first host, whatever numbers you want to put on us.
Yep, no.
We have Jared Middleton, a.k.a. Sir Dork, joining us. He'll be another one of our players. And we have Trevor Williams, also known as 1/6 Shooter to the Instagram and toy photography community. He is another one of our players. Shortly, we will kick into our game, and I will have the characters introduce themselves to you all for the first time. And from there, we will kick off into a merry little tale about gallivanting throughout the galaxy and having fun in a Star Wars world. So without further ado, let's go into our session of Star Wars Time D&D. Last we left off, our crew of merry spacefaring adventurers found themselves on the planet of Bandamere, abandoned, some of them, others in search of information that they've been searching for quite some time. Our crew met up in a cantina, had a common goal of trying to find some way off of this planet. And luckily, as the Force would have it, they had an opportunity to find their way off of this planet by stealing a ship that was arriving at the Bandamere spaceport the next day. After some planning and after a very eventful combat, they were able to steal the ship, shake off a single-man craft pursuer, and took off to their next destination. And that is where we're picking up here. Blue swirls of light continue around the ship as you guys push through hyperspace towards your destination. And after days of travel, Frey, your shipboard droid, says, "Exiting hyperspace above Tatooine now." The ship comes out of hyperspace, and you see a planet in front of you, large in the distance, covered in brown and orange coloration. Those of you who have been to Tatooine, which is all of you, know that Tatooine is a planet that is completely covered in desert and not a very hospitable world for those who are not familiar with the Outer Rim. All of you stand inside of the bridge of the control room of this ship here as you exit hyperspace. And Matt, your character, chirping from a holocom on your belt. Matt, can you please just introduce yourself and describe your character for us?
Yub nub. Me, Chief Matlu. Me, get exiled from Endor for having beef with rival tribes.
Excellent. As this little Ewok stands there, your holocom goes off, you grab it, open it up, bloop, bloop, hit the button, and you see a familiar face, human woman, long hair, obviously silhouetted in blue because that's how holocoms work in Star Wars. And she immediately says to you, "Please tell me that you didn't just drop out of hyperspace over Tatooine."
Yub nub. Of course we did. Don't you love when we check in unannounced?
Oh, I don't mind the unannounced, but I do mind that the ship that you stole is sporting a Black Sun transponder signal. That's going to be a big problem. So let's just lay this out for you guys. The crime syndicates right now in the time of the galaxy that we're in, which for those of you who are interested, we are functioning in the Mandoverse timeline. Crime syndicates operating in the Outer Rim don't even really need to like hide themselves anymore. It's basically the Wild West in the Outer Rim. Seeing a ship that appears over Tatooine with a Black Sun transponder signal, not that big of a deal. It is a big deal when it's not being piloted by somebody from the Black Sun. Rayla says to you guys, do not land at the Mos Eisley spaceport. If you land at the spaceport, they will find this ship and they will hunt you down. So what I need you guys to do is approach slowly and try to find a spot close to Mos Eisley that you could potentially land and stay out of view of the crime syndicates that are running free here on Tatooine. After you guys land, head to Anchorhead, and I will get in contact with you and let you know what's going on. So, what I need you guys to do now, you're hovering, you're starting your descent down onto Tatooine. You have a computer console in front of you that is giving you the location of the Mos Eisley spaceport, and Anchorhead is very close to that. What I need you guys to do is, as you descend, I want all of you to give me a perception check as you come down. So roll your 20-sided die and add your perception modifier to it.
Perception.
I got a 10.
I don't even see my perception, but I'll roll. I got a 2.
Under wisdom.
I got a 8. 9 minus 1.
Oh,
So 8.
so my perception is a +0, so just a 2 for me.
Oh, God.
2. Okay. So 8, a 2, and a 10. Okay. So Zavu, you lean over the screen, and what I'd like you to do for the people watching here is describe yourself as you look over this screen and describe this location that you found that you could land.
Describe myself? Okay.
Yes, describe yourself first.
My name is Zavu Gaz. I'm a Zabrak. I'm 19 years old, about 5'9", orange skin, yellow eyes, and I'm a Force user. And as I look over the screen, I see nothing but sand, dunes, a lot like my home, except a lot cleaner, brighter. I don't know, guys. I'm not sure. I think we have to hide this behind some sort of mountain or something. I mean, we don't want to be detected.
Me,
So
no like hiding.
So as Zavu kind of scans over the landscape, knowing, desert planets and knowing that there could be a potential to hide on the far side of a dune, maybe in a craggy opening, kind of points one out and says to land in that spot. Cert Dorkoth, you're the pilot of this ship. Please introduce yourself and your character and describe how you pull this ship down onto the spot that Zavu pointed out.
My name is Cert Dorkoth, and I was exiled by my home planet for merely trying to support them in the oppressive age of the Empire by becoming a bounty hunter. After their disapproval of my ways of bringing money to their destroyed planet, They exiled me and took everything from me. Now I'm hanging out with this Ewok, just trying to find my way around. But seems like a pretty easy landing.
GM,
wide open.
Yes.
Do we see anything? Let me do it in my Australian voice here. Do we see anything? How far will we be if we, pick the spot that I pointed out? How far are we from Mos Eisley? I'm assuming we need to get to Mos Eisley.
So where you have spotted a landing zone is actually pretty close to Anchorhead, and from Anchorhead you can take a shuttle that runs between Anchorhead and Mos Eisley pretty easily. It'll only, like, from what you can see, you'll have to cross a dune, which will probably take you guys about an hour and a half to get to Anchorhead, and then from there, that's where Rayla said to reach out to her, and she can fill you guys in on any more information.
There's a place we can land it's kind of covered on all sides.
So what you have spotted is basically surrounding Anchorhead. And a lot of the places here at this section of Tatooine, you have rolling dunes and you have some like kind of high craggy mountains. And what you found in terms of a landing spot is an unpopulated area on the other side of a large dune that is kind of rolling up near the outskirts of Anchorhead. So this spot it's definitely unpopulated. You can see from your approach that there's no settlements that are on this side of the dune from Anchorhead. So there is cover from the general populace of Anchorhead. There's visual cover from a long distance from Mos Eisley, which is close to Anchorhead. It's not a cave that you can pull into, but it definitely does like eschew eyes from the two nearest populated cities or populated locations.
No bantha tracks.
So, from your approach right now, you don't see any bantha tracks.
Okay.
Are we out of sight from any sand crawlers?
So as you come down, everybody give me another perception check to see if there's like any sort of like patrols running in this area or anything like that.
Yeah.
5. Come on.
14 total.
14 total. And then also 5 for you, Zavu.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Matt Lou, you're looking around. You don't see any sand crawlers. You don't see any speeder patrols that are running around this area. As you guys pull into land, you can see that there are some tracks here, but it doesn't seem like anything that's recent. Like there's just, you can see the telltale signs of like speeders that have buzzed by this area, kind of like a part in the sand dunes as the repulsor lift engines push the sand away as it glides over. But there isn't anything that you see in terms of like active people patrolling, any speeders that are circling the area or anything like that. Tatooine is a very open place it's not uncommon to see speeders running around in unpopulated locations, taking shortcuts, maybe just people messing around in open space. So as you land and you guys exit the craft, you do see some speeder tracks, but nothing that you would consider concerning. You don't see any large sand crawlers. The telltale sign of Jawas coming by for scrapping materials or anything like that. It does look like a relatively isolated area, but you can tell that at some points people may pass by with a speeder every now and then. That's what you get off of your perception checks as you land. As you land, you know that over the dune in front of you, that Anchorhead lies. So it'll be a short trip to cross the dune down into Anchorhead. Is there anything else that you guys want to do, like on the ship before you head towards Anchorhead?
Did we loot this ship to see if there's anything good we can salvage from it.
You have not. You guys have not done an investigation check or like checked around this ship to see what's on it. It is a stolen vessel. So for anybody that wants to do a check, you can roll an investigation check. If you don't feel confident in your investigation check, or if you have a low investigation score, I will allow you to help somebody who has a better investigation score, and they can roll with advantage, which means rolling twice and taking the higher roll.
Yeah, I have guidance actually, so if somebody wants to do it, I can guide them.
Okay.
Where is investigation?
Investigation is
Intelligence.
listed under your intelligence.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, and yeah,
Oh, right there. Okay, I've got +2, so that's not too bad.
I think you should take the investigation.
I'm totally gonna.
Yub nub.
There's probably
I
good
just need to
stuff.
hit the head before we
shit.
hit the trail. That's all Matt Lou
Okay.
needs to do. Drank too
So
much
Matt Lou
vodka.
hits the refresher in his quarters on this ship, while Cert, you do a thorough sweep. So Cert, roll with advantage, and then also Zavu, you said you were going to give him guidance. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
I'll cast guidance. That gives you a D4. Add that to your ability check.
So yes.
Okay, well, I rolled a 16.
A 16. So now what you do with the guidance, take the D4, which is your triangle dice, roll
Yeah.
that, and then add that number to the 16.
Another 3.
19.
19. We're gonna get some
You
good
had a
stuff.
2 too
So-
by default, right?
Yeah, I added that. That's
Okay,
already
right.
added.
Got it.
Yeah, so he's got the 16 plus 3, so 19. So Matt Lou, you're off in the refresher, taking a leak.
Long pee, lots of
and
spatchka.
As you're doing that, Cert and Zavu, you guys are kind of like checking compartments. Cert, you in particular, you've been in this game for a while. You've been a part of the underworld. You and Matt Lou both have kind of been like trying to find your way into the smuggling business, into kind of this like underworld of sorts. So you have like a familiarity with like some smuggling places and like smuggling locations within ships that are hidden from regular sweeps from patrols. You go into the engine room of this vessel, and you lift up one of the floor, like the plasteel floor guards, and in that you see a huge stash of spice.
Oh boy.
And
Yeah.
like you kind of look at this, you look over it, there's multiple bundles and bundles of spice, and you can like eyeballing it, you think that this is probably 10,000 credits worth of spice. The only problem with that is you have to find how to move it. You know, like you can't just walk into Anchorhead with a backpack full of spice and start slinging it to anybody who's in town. It is definitely a discerning type of like, who can I sell this to? Also knowing that this is Black Sun spice from a ship that you've stolen, it may lead you to believe that the Black Sun may have an interest in finding this ship. So getting this transponder codes fixed quickly is probably of utmost importance to you guys.
So so there's no way to shut that off. We can't stop that from.
So the transponder
Signaling,
signals on this ship, I mean, right now, you've already kind of flashed it, and luckily Rayla was
Right.
able to divert you guys. Now that the ship is powered down and you guys are off of it, you won't be sending a transponder signal.
Okay.
None of you have the technical know-how to like disable a transponder signal within the ship or change it.
Right.
So at the time, you guys are safe. Ship is powered down. There is no transponder signal that's being that's being beaconed out to any like passerby vessels or anything like that. But once you guys do kick it back on and you do find yourself, using the ship again, it will be broadcasting that signal. So,
Cool.
Cert,
So
Matt Lou, go ahead, Sabu.
did Sturt just find the spice, or am I with him, or have I?
So
Seen
you're
this?
with him, like you guys are
Okay.
like are kind of going throughout the vessel together to see if there was anything of value. So you two both kind of found this together. Like, Sir, you pulled up this plasteel floor guard, and Zavu, you're standing like right over him as he's like finds this little smuggling container. So you guys both see it. Matlu, as you come out of the refresher, you kind of, you're walking around, you look for, and you see them in the engine room, kind of huddling over this one space. And as you walk in, you see this too. You see a stash of spice, and now you kind of know, like, okay, we didn't just steal a ship. We've stolen a pretty hefty amount of spice from the Black Sun.
And these are in crates?
Yub nub. Matlu knows spice. Matlu loves spice. Matlu find
We're selling
how
this
to sell spice.
Don't get any ideas.
Cert,
Okay.
you know me.
Selling.
We will get rid of this
selling
stuff.
This spice.
Matlu and spice
It's
go
spice
together.
or credits.
Right. So,
We want credits.
Zavu, in this moment, what are you feeling here? Because
I was gonna get
Cert and Matlu, they're kind of running together. They're both definitely like more on the seedy side of things. I wouldn't say that they're bad guys, but they're definitely like trying to make their name in the smuggling game.
I was getting
For you, as somebody who's followed a different path in life, when you see this stash, like, what's running through your head?
Just my thoughts.
Yeah, like what's kind of running through your head? Do you have any? You can also, like, if there's something that you want to say to the group, you feel free to voice your opinion
Zavu,
as well.
spice good for mind. Keep clear.
I've got a direction, and I know that's going to divert. I'm a little conflicted about this. Spice is not good.
We
Like my
should sell it.
travels. Let's make our way to Mos Eisley. Find out. We can't carry this now. We can't just carry it out in the middle of the open. So let's go make our way there and see what we can find. That's my suggestion.
I agree.
Yub nub. Only if I get hit
Don't
first.
get any ideas.
Okay, so
No
Matlu, as Zavu and Search are walking towards the exit of the ship, Matlu, you lean over to one of the bundles of spice, cut it open with a little, like tear it open with your nail
Yub
and take a hit of it.
nub.
You definitely feel a rush. You feel awake. You're ready to go.
Yeah.
So you guys exit the ship.
Berserker.
And you know that right over the dune is Anchorhead. So you guys travel over the dune, and as you enter Anchorhead, you remembered, Matlu, that Rayla said to give her a buzz when you guys got there.
Yub nub. Cert.
He's already got a buzz.
We gotta call Rayla. Get your hollow recorder
Who's got the
out.
comms?
I forgot mine back at the ship
So like
after that hit.
everybody here has a holocom device.
Okay.
Everybody here
I
has a
forgot.
holocom
I
device.
had too much spice. Mine's right back here in my back pouch.
Yeah.
Strength up, intelligence down.
Yes.
From the spice.
Rayla.
Matlu, you take out your
Rayla, come
your
in.
device.
Rayla, yub nub.
You ring. She pops up onto the holocom and says, "Okay, did you stash the ship away? Are you sure that nobody can find this thing?"
Rayla, you know me. Yub nub, no problem.
That's the problem, is I know you. Anyway, you're here. We're gonna get it figured out. So, what you guys need right away is you need a slicer. We need to find somebody here that's not on Crime Syndicate payroll that can get this fixed for you guys. The problem is what I said before, not on Crime Syndicate payroll. We have some limited options. A lot of the guys that I know have either gone off world after the fall of the Empire, and they've been kind of making their buck in the mid rim or just bouncing around the outer rim. So a lot of my like key contacts are gone. Oh man, you guys really fucked up on this one, didn't you? Stole a Black Sun ship and you didn't even know it. After about a few solid, 30, 45 seconds of thinking, Rayla looks up and says, "This isn't the best idea, but it might be the only one that we have." There's a TOYDARIAN that I know named Crepo. He's
Nice.
a top-notch slicer, definitely. The problem is he's a bottom-notch gambler. And
Jedi mind tricks don't work on him.
That's also a good thing to know, too. Toydarians, they're strong of mind, but they're not strong of will. Crepo got in deep with the Nikto gang, and for the past couple of months, they've had him working a salvage line at a yard that they run in the Bomar Flats north of Mos Eisley. Like I said, not the best plan, but might be the only one that we have. Our best choice of action, or our best course of action here, may be for you guys to try to break this guy out somehow and have him help you with this slicing problem that you have. I know you're flat broke, as Matt Lou told me right before you guys came to Tatooine, so bribing anybody's probably out of the question. So you may need to sneak your way in, you may need to fight your way in, you may need to talk your way in, but somehow you guys are going to have to get Crepo out of this salvage yard. So as she says that, she sends through coordinates to this salvage yard in the Bomar Flats to your holocom device, Matt Lou. And that's something that you can kind of pull up for reference at any time. So you now know where this salvage yard is. She says, before she ends the holo call with you guys, she says, find yourself some speeders, make your way there, and for God's sake, don't get yourself killed. And then the call ends. So now you find yourself in Anchorhead. Anchorhead is a very small town. It's not a hustling, bustling port of call like Mos Eisley is. There's definitely a place here that you can rent some speeders from. There's some basic general store supplies as well. But just taking a look around, you can kind of tell that like your selection is going to be limited here in Anchorhead. So now that you guys are here in Anchorhead, what would you like to do?
How much do you trust this person?
She's the only person we've got.
Yub nub. With Dork Ted.
There's probably a good cantina around. We can figure out maybe what to do with this spice. Maybe get us some cash, some credits.
I don't think we want to be telling anyone we've got any spice anywhere. Tipping our hats.
What are we going to do then?
I mean, if we want to sell this spice, then I think we've got to go right to your contact.
Yub nub. If the spice comes
Where
out
is she
again,
even?
I'll be hitting it. So we need to get rid of it quick.
It's true. It's true, folks. It's true.
So as of now, you guys, the spice is still on the ship. So like you guys didn't bring any with you.
Yeah.
So the spice
Unless
is still
you
on the
did,
ship.
Matt Lou.
He's still
Like
got
a
something
little
on
in
his
your
upper
pocket.
lip.
Yub nub. Thank you, Zavu.
Yeah, so the spice is still on the ship. So if you want to, you can reach back out to Rayla and see if she can, if she has any ideas for how to deal with this spice.
That's honestly our best option.
Okay. So
What-
you guys,
she was telling us what? Like that we could go to this person. This person is we'll cut the spice.
Well, it's a slicer that's going to be able to change your transponder codes on your ship for you.
Oh, this is
On the
what
ship.
we're talking about, the transponder codes now. Okay.
Yeah, so like
Right.
this slicer is a guy that like is probably your most immediate need, so you can drop your heat.
So our first, right. Okay. So right now, even though it's not transponding anything, we need to get this taken care of so we can move somewhere. If we have to take this someplace else, if we have to get off planet, we don't want. Okay, understood. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make a mutually beneficial deal with this Nikto gang that's got the Toydarian, trading some spice for our Toydarian.
Very possible.
A biker gang might be interested in some spice. They can screw off with it however they like.
Mhm.
What do you think, Zavu? You down, man?
I lost you guys. Damn it. What's going on?
He's there.
there you
I think
Now
we're
you're
back.
All right.
You're in deep thought for us.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What was said?
If we try to create a mutually beneficial deal, trading some of our spice to that Nikto gang to maybe get our Toydarian, trade some spice for a Toydarian, maybe they'll be into it.
So we have to get past the Nikto gang to get to your cutter, right?
And Niktos aren't very smart, so
No.
we
don't
can
wanna
only
do
give them
this-
like a quarter of it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't give him that much. But why? Where are we? How are we going to bring this with us? How are we going to trade them spice that we don't have in hand, and or not bring them back to a stolen ship that they can then blackmail us for and take everything?
Well, I have a backpack. I actually do have a backpack. It's one of my things that I've got in my equipment. Holds 30 pounds, so I could run back and put some in there.
I say you run back, get a little bit of that. Don't give it to Matt Lou. And just
20% of it.
While we're there, I forgot. Just make sure that we've wiped the ship of any trace of ourselves. We haven't left anything behind.
Hmm.
If it's found, we don't want to have anything to do with it. But yeah, I think we have to do that. We have to have something. Otherwise, we're not going to get very far.
Matlu with Dorkoff. Make trade.
So,
Cool.
Sir, you head back to the ship, backpack in hand, and I mean it's
We'll go
roughly
secure
like a.
Sorry,
Yeah, like get
we'll go
spice.
secure some speeders while you're out there.
All right, so you run off, you go get some spice. It's going to be like a 2-hour kind of back and forth for you, Sir, to like get the spice, come back into town. Now, as you guys are in Anchorhead waiting around, you see there is like one speeder rental place here. They got the basics. They have basic speeders for rent. And it's 130 credits each. So if you wanted to rent 3 speeders, it would be 390 credits. They may be able to give you a deal since you're renting more than one, but that's kind of the going rate. And then in terms of supplies, you can get 7-day ration packs for your trip out there. The trip out there into the Bomar Flats is going to take you into the area that Rayla showed you. Matlu, you look at it on the map and you're like, it's probably going to take us about a day and a half of travel to get there. You can buy 7-day ration packs for 10 credits each. And there's also a vendor here in Anchorhead that sells med packs. He only has 3, but you can buy them for 5 credits each. As I was saying before, Anchorhead's not going to have the selection that Mos Eisley might. So that's what you find here. So you don't necessarily have to move on that if you don't want to. You could go check out Mos Eisley and see what kind of selection they have. But that's
How far
what's
are we from
here.
Mos Eisley?
There is a shuttle that runs to Mos Eisley from Anchorhead, and it takes roughly 30, 45 minutes.
Right. Matt Lou,
Yub nub.
why don't we take a look at some of these speeders and see what we can do? I have a feeling if we get to Mos Eisley, it might. Mos Eisley is going to be closer, though, right, to our destination?
Mos Eisley is going to be a little bit closer to the Bomar Flats, like the entrance.
Miles or...
in terms, yeah, I mean, like you're talking probably 5 miles closer. So it's not anything that's super significant. It is a more direct route than Anchorhead. Anchorhead's going to put you through a little bit more of a rough terrain to get you into the entrance to the Bomar Flats. Whereas coming directly from Mos Eisley, it's going to be a little bit cleaner of a shot.
Okay. And we don't have to worry about fuel or anything like that. Are we talking about like kind of going that road, or we're just okay?
No,
as
Zavu,
written.
think too much.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll say that you guys hang out in Anchorhead. Like you scoped out what's available in Anchorhead. You know you can get some basic speeders here. You can get limited rations and med packs here. As Cert returns from loading up on this spice, you guys can head off to Mos Eisley if you want to.
Matlu wants some food and medicine.
Yeah. So the transport from Anchorhead to Mos Eisley's here. You guys can hop right on. There's no charge to use it. It's just a transport that runs like a shuttle that runs back and forth. People from the space station to Anchorhead, and then they can go from where they want to, and then vice versa. You guys hop on this. And it's pretty much empty. There's not a lot of people that are taking the journey from Anchorhead back to Mos Eisley right now. When it pulled up, you noticed that a few people got off. Mostly just looks like itinerant workers or just people who are kind of passing through the spaceport, hopping off at Anchorhead and then taking somewhere to their next destination. Nothing that looks too seedy, just regular activity. You guys sit within the patrol craft or the shuttlecraft that takes you back to Mos Eisley. And as you get there, this is kind of where the hustle and bustle is in this area. You see multiple speeders kind of passing along the sand roadways. You see dome-topped white buildings. You see tall structures made completely of Durasteel metal, beacons for ships as they pass through and need to find their landing location within the spaceport. You see people on the street peddling all sorts of things, cooked meats. You see people that are selling death sticks and drinks. You see people that are selling like any number of things, some dead animals from the Junland Wastes and other places. You can see a vendor on the side that has a womp rat on a spit that's rotating over a fire. And as you make your way through Mos Eisley, you can see a number of different shops. You see one speeder rental place that has like a ton of different types of speeders in there. And you see general stores that are stocked. You see like other supply locations that have different sorts of things that you could use. So right now it's kind of open to you guys. Where do you want to go? What do you want to look for?
Well, I mean, before we go any place, we should eat, right? I mean, don't know when we're going to eat again.
Matlu is hungry.
All right, Matlu is hungry. So let's find ourselves
Too
a
much
cantina.
spice.
Let's do it.
And grab something to eat.
Matlu, you've been on this spice now for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. You're getting towards the end of the hit that you took last time, and you are starting to get the munchies a little bit. So you guys find the Mos Eisley Cantina, the one that's almost directly attached to the Mos Eisley spaceport. As you make your way in, you see the droid bartender behind the bar kind of just acknowledges you with a nod. There's open tables around the side. And as you guys sit down, a server droid rolls up, single wheel, and as you sit down, pulls up to take your order. What would you guys like for refreshments?
Jawa juice. For me.
Matlu needs grilled womp rat and glass spotchka.
I thought you guys ate everything raw. I'll have 2 of those. One womp rat, and I'll take also a juice.
Okay, so you see the server droid. He doesn't have anything that he's writing on. He's just, you see his eyes kind of as you put your order in, and he acknowledges you and rolls off. And within a minute, rolls back around the bar with your drinks. A Jawa juice for Cert, Spotchka for Matlu, and Zavu, you wanted a Jawa juice as well? Or
yeah,
are you getting,
sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a Jawa juice for Zavu. You guys hang out there. You kind of look around the bar. There's a mix of different denizens in here. You can see Rhodians, you can see droids, you can see humans. Like a ton of people come through this cantina every day as they come and go from the Mos Eisley Spaceport and Tatooine. If you would like, we can skip right to your meal. Or if you guys wanted to like search for any sort of information, you could do that.
Do we see any Nikto?
No Nikto in here. Yeah, no Nikto members in the bar right now.
And we wouldn't know the and I have to write this down. I'm sorry. The black
sun. Yeah, I mean Black Sun is.
Would we know
not
them by any kind of marking or anything like that?
Right now, they don't wear like outward like signs of like gang, like being in the Black Sun or anything like that. Okay. So it would be hard to spot them, especially since in the Outer Rim right now, it's not really under control of by one particular crime syndicate. Like all of the crime syndicates right now have kind of agreed to like not really fight within their groups with each other right now. They know that there's a ton of money to make in the Outer Rim right now. There's the rule of law after the fall of the Empire and during this transitionary period where the New Republic is kind of finding its feet is just gone. Like it's up in the air. You can see that essentially each planet is kind of governing itself the best that it can. But there is no like particular outward way of noticing if somebody's Black Sun or not.
We notice if anybody's looking at us or
make a perception check.
Everyone looks at Matlu when he out.
That is.
You don't see Ewok too often in Tatooine.
Perception. 16.
16. As you look around the bar, I mean, you see people kind of making sideways glances. A lot of people here have never seen an Ewok before.
Yub.
The way that Ewok culture works is that you basically stay on the moon of Endor and you don't leave unless you are forced to leave, which Matlu was. So a lot of these people are kind of like trying not to make it noticeable, like not directly staring at Matlu, but are definitely like walking by, giving sideways glances, looking inquisitively across the cantina at him as he's sitting down at the table that you guys have.
Yum.
You do
nothing threat worthy, just looking at him.
Like you do notice that like every now and then somebody's glare will linger a little bit longer, but it doesn't seem like anybody's clocking your movements so far.
I'm assuming you guys have some. Sorry.
I rolled an 8 for my perception.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you kind of catch the same thing. Like every now and then you'll see a glance over at Matlu, but nothing that's like that would intimidate you or like make you think that somebody's like actively keeping an eye on you. As you guys look around, portions of grilled womp rat are brought over to the table, and you guys are free to have your meal here. As the server droid brings your food around, he says that it's 15 credits for food and drink here. So you guys can.
We're going Dutch.
Gonna split it. 5 credits each.
Yeah, everybody give him a card.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like Zavu, you have 280 credits.
Minus 5.
Yep, Matlu, you have 1,900 credits, and then Cert, you also
have 2,180.
Yeah, so you also have 2,100 credits. So you guys hand over some credits to the server droid, and he rolls away and goes to take care of other patrons.
Thanks.
You finish, so like you guys hang out here for a little bit. You finish your meal, and then
he's a droid. You don't really have to tell him thanks.
Yeah.
I like to thank him anyway.
Droids have feelings.
Yeah, droids have feelings too.
Droids are my god.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate droids.
So as you guys finish your meal, you can head back out into the Mos Eisley like spaceport open kind of area and start to look for the provisions you might need for your trip over to this scrapyard.
I think we should get some food, some medicine packs, right?
Some protein packs.
Medicine.
Yeah.
Some back
packs.
to canisters.
Right.
Or something.
Back to canisters. Sure.
Right. All right.
You stick your finger in there if you cut your finger.
Yeah.
Let it soak. Just pour it over you.
So you guys walk around. You see a speeder rental place that's like almost right next to the cantina. I mean, it's 15 feet away, if that. You make your way around and you see a human man standing there, just kind of flanked by all the speeders that he has at his location. And as you walk up to him, he says, I got anything you need. In the market for a speeder. You want to go fast? You want to go slow? You want to be loud? You want to be quiet? I got anything you need.
Okay. We want to be quiet. We want to go fast. We'd like to rent 3 of your finest speeders.
Can we get like one speeder that can hold all of us, like a land speeder kind of thing?
So
would that save us some cash?
You can see that mostly what he has here is like individual speeders. The land speeders usually aren't going to be good for like long trips across like Bomar Flats open area and stuff like that. So he doesn't have any here. But he does have, you, Zavu, say to him, you want to be quiet. And he's like, I can get you there quiet. It may not be as fast as other speeders, but you'll get there quiet. He says, he points to 3 speeders off to the side, very sleek, low hanging, like kind of like low crouched over speeders, all painted in like a very sand kind of like orange desert color to blend in with the environment. And he also says, these here, they'll get you there quiet. There's dampeners on the repulsor lifts, making them as quiet as can be. They're painted to stay hidden while driving through the sand dunes. Like I said, may not be the fastest, but nobody will see you coming.
I have a +2 in technology. Maybe can we try to modify them at all?
So in what
Let's
way
get
would
them.
you try to modify them? And also, I know that you're probably not asking this to the
No.
person renting it.
Oh, that was
It's probably
me
not a
asking you.
great idea to do work on speeders that you don't own.
Right, we
So
are.
what would you
renting
What would you want to do to it?
Let's paint them up like Vespas.
yes. No, it's because so we can keep the dampeners keeping us quiet, but some to speed us up too, so we get best of both worlds.
Okay,
We're not that
So,
far. We're not
go over.
too
So
terribly far.
sir, you go over and you're inspecting these speeders. Go ahead and give me a technology roll.
Is that a what should I roll? Which
Yeah,
dice?
so roll your D20,
20.
roll the 20-sided
20.
dice, and then add your technology to it.
That's a 14.
14. You look at these speeders and you kind of lean under the chassis, you look underneath it. You see that there is a governor on this thing. And it from what you can see, you could manipulate this pretty easily to gain some speed on these things because they're not opened fully up, and you could probably set them back to their standard speed levels before you turn them back in.
All right, let's do it. Well,
How many?
if you guys,
How many days do you think we're going to be? Are we renting these per day or?
So it's
Just like a
150 credits to rent these stealthy speeders, and that'll just be that's basically rent for a week, essentially. It would be a longer term rental. You know that based off of what Matlu says from the travel time from Mos Eisley to this junkyard where you have to go get this guy is probably a day and a half's journey. So you wouldn't you would still be under the time period for a standard rental if you guys were to just make the trip and then bring them back.
150 a piece.
A piece,
that's
yeah.
what I was-
I'll tell you what-
150 a piece.
I'm talking to this guy.
Okay.
How about 100? Roll 3
Give me
each.
a
Well, hang on. I'm sorry. I'm going to use Effect Mind.
There you go.
okay.
Sorry. So
All right.
If you're gonna use Effect Mine, you might as well do a 50 apiece, right?
yeah, I'm also
Right,
trying
might
not
as
to
well.
rip him off, but
Not make
because
it
we
too
do have
obvious.
to, we do have to come back here and drop them off. So
Okay.
do a set.
Choose target this with. All right. Oh no, you have advantage on charisma checks. Okay. So what is your? Let me take a look at your sheet here. Your.
what am I looking for? Charisma?
No. Yeah. So basically, I have to roll
So you make
a
wisdom.
saving throw.
Right.
And I believe I have to roll it against your spell casting, which your spell casting right now is your wisdom.
Mhm.
So you have a +4. So basically, he's got to roll 8. He's got to roll 12 or higher
Mhm.
to save.
You got this.
So you reach out to affect his mind, and you can tell that he kind of he almost has this look of he gets a slight headache, but he shakes it off. So you know that your affect mind didn't hold on him.
Mhm.
So what you do now is you can make a flat persuasion check.
Okay. So that's a different thing than just persuasion, right? That's you have to do.
Yeah. So
That's not a
so you just if it would have succeeded, if you would have successfully affected his mind, you
Mhm.
would have had advantage on this roll. But because it failed, you don't have advantage.
Yeah, that's an 8.
Okay. So he looks at you and he says, 100 credits for these bad boys is not going to cut it. If you want them cheaper, I can get you some basic speeders, 115 each. Not going to be as quiet, but it'll get you there for sure.
All right.
150. We can
All
handle the 150.
All right, we'll take these.
Okay. So you guys rent these speeders. They're yours to take. Is there anything else that you're looking for? You said you were looking for like ration packs and stuff like that.
Med packs.
And potentially some med packs. Okay. So you like are kind of like putting along in your speeders that you guys are renting through the streets of Mos Eisley. You come across a general store. And actually,
So
like there's
subtracting our credits here, right? 150.
yeah. So you guys can subtract 150 credits from your total.
150.
Okay.
All right. You guys see kind of like a lean-to that's set up, and you can see that there's like a ton of different stuff there. There's protein packs. There's day rations. There's dried meats and food. You can see hanging from
Matt Lou love meat.
The pole supporting. There's just like some meat hanging out there drying as well. There is a Rhodian that's kind of like working behind there. And as you walk up, he just leans over and he says, protein packs, 10 credits each. Have as many as you want. Dried meats, 5 credits for a pound. So you guys can, there's a ton of different stuff here. Is there anything in like particular that you're looking for your rations?
Is there any benefit that like the dried meats have over the protein packs or anything like that?
Not really, no, because they're both going to give you just like the sustenance that you need to get it. I will say that the dried meats are a little bit more bulky. They're not as easy to transport. Price wise, that's why they're a little bit cheaper, because they are like, a little bit harder to store. They're also not going to last as long as protein packs. If you buy a protein pack, you don't use it, you can hang on to it for longer. The meats will probably spoil a little bit faster than the protein packs as well. So those are kind of your trade-offs there.
Okay.
Let's go with the protein packs.
All right.
They served us well in the
Makes
past.
sense, but I like meat.
Maybe, let's get him one. Let's get him one dried meat.
Yub nub.
Okay, so you guys pick up. You can pick up a 7-day pack
You're
of
buying for the
protein.
group?
Because Zavu is getting a little low on credits here. But basically the way that'll break down is you can get a 7-day pack of rations for 10 credits each. If you want to do that, so you can save a little bit more if you buy them in bulk. And then a pound of dried meat for Matt Lou.
Yub nub.
So you guys, 7-day pack of rations for each person would be 10 credits. And then Matt Lou, if you want the 7-day pack of rations plus a pound of the dried meat, it'd be 15 credits.
All right. I'll buy a
You guys-
7-day supply.
Zavu spot. Zavu spot, Matt Lou.
Sorry.
Zabu's got way less cash
Oh.
than you.
Yeah.
How much, Matt
Matt
Lou? owe?
Lou's 15. You owe 15 credits, Matt Lou.
Yub nub.
And then last thing for you guys, y'all were looking for med packs. There is actually what you see here is very interesting. It's like a vending machine with med packs in it. You guys don't even have to go up to a person selling them, and it's in there. You can pick up 10 med packs for 5 credits each. So it'd be 50 credits for 10 med packs, which is like a discounted rate. You can buy them off individually for like, what is it? It's like 7 credits per med pack if you want to. Or you could get the 10 pack for 50.
I'll get the 10 pack since Zavu got us.
Me like
the
bulk
rations.
buying, like Costco on Earth.
All right. So you guys pick up 10 med packs for
How many credits was it?
50 credits for the 10.
Cert have deep pockets.
for now, starting to,
And these
Get a little
are
low.
standard med packs. I know. So, like, just a point of clarification. Last session, I think you guys used a protein pack as like a pseudo health pack. Now, with med packs, that will be like your primary way to heal. Is going to be through the med packs. The rations is just like stuff you'll use on like the trip to make sure that you're hydrated, to make sure that you're fed. Not anything that we're going to be like tracking super hardcore, but just something for the journey.
So
as
you
you guys
subtract
make
one of those a
your-
day or something like that, or
Yeah, it would be one a day.
Okay.
As you guys make your way through the rest of the the area around Mos Eisley, you do spot something that seems pretty interesting. There is like a one-time use mini stealth probe droid that is essentially like, call it like a foot, like about a foot tall, and very thin. It flies. And you can buy one of those if you guys wanted to for 25 credits.
Matlu will step
That sounds
up
pretty cool.
and buy droid.
Okay, so Matlu, you
Thanks,
have
Matlu.
a mini stealth probe droid at your disposal. You guys have everything you need now. You have your speeders, you have your rations, you have your med packs, you have this little probe droid. You are now free to head off towards your destination. So you guys hop on your speeders and you break off towards the Bomar Flats.
Ride it like a
the
bantha.
speeder-
Ride it like a bantha.
Like the speeder salesman said, these aren't the fastest speeders, but you are very stealthy. You still are making good time. So what I'm going to need from you guys in terms of the travel is, for your first day of travel, go ahead and give me a survival check. Now, what you can do again is you can assign one person to make the survival check, and if the others are helping, you can make it at advantage.
I have -1 for survival.
I'm
so-
+2 on survival.
I'm
So
0, so Zavu.
Okay, so
all right,
David, you can
All right.
make this at
I'll roll for
advantage.
everybody. That is 20, 18.
18 plus
18 plus 2 is 20. Yeah,
20, yes.
Sweet.
Very
We're
good.
not a
surviving.
natural 20. 30,
So
20. Sorry.
as you guys are going along, Zavu, you're in the front and you're kind of just like keeping eyes out. The Bomar Flats are, as their name describes, super flat. There's not a lot of topography that you need to go over to get to your destination, but you are flanked by like craggy orange mountain rock that is kind of enclosing these flats from the surrounding area. There's sand dunes that are far off in the distance. And you see, as you guys are zipping through, that you can see activity of Tusken Raiders in this area. And you can see kind of like way off in the distance towards some of these like high mountainous areas, like a glint of light from a scope of a Tusken Raider rifle. And you point that out and you direct the group to kind of like skew further towards the other side of the flats to stay out of range. And because you guys have the stealthier speeders, you pass by this little ambush point of Tuskens unscathed and unnoticed.
Nub.
As you guys go along, night starts to fall, and you kind of scout the area out, Zavu, and you see like a little kind of alcove where you guys can kind of pull off, tuck the speeders away, and spend the night there.
Got my macro binoculars out looking.
Awesome.
Your
Okay,
binocs.
you like take your binocs and you're scanning the flats, and you see kind of off to like the northeast of where you are now, like a small little like alcove that comes out with with rock that you guys can kind of skirt into and sit down for the night.
Okay.
So, you guys set up. It doesn't get super cold here at night. It's comfortable enough. You guys have, enough area here where you can lay out, go to sleep. Is there any conversation that you guys want to have before we move into our night's watch?
Yubnub. Cert, Dorkoff. You see Matlu on speeder? Look like cousin Paplu against Empire. Cool.
Whatever you say, buddy.
Yeah, you guys did a great job there. Gotta say.
Matlu go fast.
Why did they kick you out?
Let's just say Paplu no longer like Matlu.
That's a shame.
It was too much spice.
That I can see.
Spice bad. Make me crazy, bear.
Do you guys have any other enemies that we should know about here on Tatooine?
No. Little, furry. No one pay attention to Matlu.
A lot of people paying attention to you in the canteen, I'll tell you that, my little friend.
Bunch of scruffy looking nerf herders.
I'll agree with you there. All right, I think we should get some sleep. I'll take first watch.
Okay.
And then...
Good.
Yeah,
Matlu's
so we'll
still
go
drunk.
into
Yeah, I can't trust you with that right now.
sleep it off. So the way that Night's Watch rotations works is there's going to be 3 watches. There's 3 of you. So first watch, second watch, third watch. That will give all of you enough sleep to get a full night's rest. So if we were to go into like some sort of combat and you had taken damage, or if you had used force power slots or tech power slots, those would all regenerate even though you are up at night during a watch. So first night's watch, or first watch for the night, Zavu, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Is that a 9 or a 6? Damn it. Hang it. Can't get these dice like the swirly
on the dice. There should be a dot at the bottom of it telling you.
Yeah, it's a 11.
11. You feel pretty confident that where like the spot that you pulled off in is pretty, is pretty covered from like visual range of anybody who would be coming down the Bomar Flats or like looking for like any particular people to ambush. As the other 2 lay down, like you're kind of looking around. You don't see anything in your periphery or near you. At this point in the day, like people are definitely starting to bed down, and Tuscans aren't known for night raids. So pretty safe on first night's watch. Okay. Who is going to take the second watch?
I'll take second watch.
Okay, Cert, you take second watch. So same thing. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
I love Matt playing sleeping. That's perfect.
I got 6.
6. Okay. Sir, you're like yeah, you're up and you're, quote unquote watching, but it's been a long day for you guys. It's, a lot of travel. You had to do 2 trips over that
that's true. I did
over that sand dune to go and get the spice and bring it back. You guys had a long travel day on speeders through super hot sand. So you're dozing off. Every now and then you hear like a skitter off in the distance. Wake up and you see like a womp rat running off to the side, or you see like a little desert lizard kind of scurry into a little hole that he's dug in the sand for himself to keep cool. But you don't see. There's nothing that is encroaching on you as you guys have your watch. As you lay down, you kind of nudge Matlu to wake up for his watch.
Nub. Dreaming of Chief Nebbit. No good.
Venge dreams. Matlu, go ahead and give me a perception check as well.
Yup, Nub. 3.
3.
Great.
Again, like you're kind of in this
Too much
haze.
spotchka,
You're
head
like,
foggy.
yeah, you wake up and you had yourself a hit of spice. You had yourself a couple glasses of spotchka last night, so you're definitely shaking off a bit of a hangover.
Classic Matt Lou.
What do you do to the...
You know, picking some bugs out of your fur as they crawled on you during the night.
Breakfast.
But at this time, dawn is beginning to break. You see the twin sons of Tatooine coming overhead, and off in the distance, you can see the outline of this scrapyard that you guys are heading to. So you know you're close. It will be less than a half a day's travel for you guys to get there. So you guys are now awake. You've had your breakfast. You've had your ration for the day. Get back on your speeder, and you can head towards the location of the scrapyard. So Zavu, go ahead and give me one more survival check.
That is 17.
17.
Nice.
Excellent. Zavu, on the way there, you don't see any signs of Tuscans because, like, now you're starting to get close to this scrapyard, and as you approach it, you can see that, like, you've gotten to a point to where you can make out this scrapyard, and from what you can see, it's a pretty large area. You can see that it's a huge circular yard. You can see that there is a gate that is wide open right now in the front of the scrapyard, the direction that you guys are heading. You can also see that there are 2 tower structures that are built on the inside walls of this scrapyard. But from this distance, you can't really see anybody who's there. Like if there's anybody occupying the towers. And the yard itself, like the enclosure to this yard, is itself made of scrap. Like you can see that it's like discarded pieces of like giant sheets of Durasteel. You can see that it's like all of these different kind of cast off scraps of metal and plastic and other types of materials that are just kind of like welded together to make this yard. And from here, you also know that Matlu has this stealth probe droid that you guys could send out to maybe get some eyes on it before you fully roll up to it.
Can I see anything with using the binoculars or anything, or we're still too far? Or?
Yeah, so the binocs, you can see, it's not going to give you like a perspective that's over anything. So the binocs,
it's like up in the towers.
So like up in the towers, you do see 2, one in each tower on each side of this gate. You do see 2 snipers. These aren't Tuscan snipers. They're not using like, you know, the standard rifles. They are using high grade sniper rifles with scopes to check out this area. You can see that there are gates that open and close to this particular yard. From what you gather, they likely close the gates at night, open the gates during the day for trading purposes or other like in and out from the yard. Go ahead. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
No, but this is a Tuscan establishment, right? This is a
this is run by Nikto.
This is what we're looking for. This is where we're going. This is where we're headed to. This is the Nikto gang. Place. And they
this is the
hired
yard
a couple of Tuscan Raiders as snipers up in the top, or they're doing whatever.
Yeah, no. So the snipers that you guys saw coming in, like during your speeder trip in, were like a couple of like Tuscans that were like basically looking to see if there was anybody they could pick off, like during their run through the flats. Right. This location is run and controlled by the Nikto gangs.
Okay. What's our plan?
So that's what you could gather from your binocs. If you want, you could, Matlu, you could deploy that stealth probe droid and kind of get like an overhead view and get like a little bit more feel for
Zavu,
what you guys may
sir.
be dealing with.
Let's use the droid. Yub nub.
Are we hidden still?
Yeah, so you guys are far enough out in the
Okay.
distance to where they haven't really spotted you yet. It's also not uncommon for speeders to run up and down the Bomar Flats. Technically, this is one way that you could get to Bib Fortuna's palace. So seeing speeders running up and down the flats wouldn't be out of place for the Niktos that run this establishment.
But we've
so you have
stopped
it,
for the second, right? We're stopped.
Yeah, you guys are
Just-
stopped out at a distance.
Okay. What makes this droid stealth? Just because it's its size, basically.
Small coloration. It also has a cloaking mechanism on
Invisible.
it that you can,
Okay.
that you can engage. And
One-time
send,
use, though,
and send over.
right? It's one-time use.
Yeah, it is kind of like a
Disposable
one-time
droid.
use droid for that amount. There are like
What's going
you
on?
do know
Matt
like,
Lou usually
don't
go
make it back.
crazy. Now I'm constrained. You guys give me problems.
We'll use the
Damn
droid.
straight we'll
Check
use
it out
droid.
first.
My money,
We'll move
my
after.
droid.
Okay, Matt Lou, you let this droid go and you have like a little control dock for it. And as you engage the droid and its stealth engine, a screen comes to life on your control dock that is essentially allowing you to see what the droid is seeing. So you send this thing off, and as it gets into the sky, the stealth component of it turns on, and it is invisible to the naked eye. As it flies over, you can see that indeed there are snipers on the top of each of these towers that are right by the entrance to the gate. As you float further over into the top, like above the area of the particular, like of the area of the scrapyard, you can see inside of it. You can see that along the right wall of this enclosure is a very long conveyor belt that leads to a furnace. You can see a bunch of different, like at this height, it's hard to make out like individuals from this, but you can see people along this scrap line, like working, sorting through scrap, letting certain things go into the furnace. On the other side, along the left wall, is various other stations where people are forging metals. They're welding things together. They're like taking some of these scrap pieces and starting to either repair like speeders or repair droids that they could then like go and resell, or they're like doing some sort of work with some of this salvage material that's within the yard. The yard itself is large. It probably has like a 200-foot circumference in this entire circular area. You can see down there patrol group. There's two patrol groups, one kind of patrolling the right side of the yard, one patrolling the left side of the yard. From what you can see, it looks like a guard and like a hound, like some sort of hound animal at its side as they kind of just walk up and down the left and right sides of the yard. And you can also see that like, while this is like a very shoddily put together place, you could almost see from this area that like there may be like gaps within the exterior walls of this place that you guys may be able to, like, just thinking about different ways you could approach this, you may be able to sneak into if you decide not to take a forward approach to this. So you see all of that. The droid comes back to you, and essentially the battery pack on it is like shot. So what you did, like what you can do with this droid is you can buy replacement batteries for it, and like you could use it more than once, but it's got a very limited charge.
Dank ferric, crappy battery.
How many people did we see inside approximately? Do we have a count?
There are a number of people working along this scrap line, probably 10 people
dozens.
working along this scrap line. on the right-hand side of it. On the left-hand side of it, you saw probably 5 people working at various stations, either, like blacksmithing, like forging metals, welding, doing some sort of work, repairing different things. Plus you have on the right side, a guard and his dog kind of doing a walk up and down. And then on the left side, a guard and a dog kind of doing his walk up and down as well. But this is a very large area. Like I said, it's probably like 200 yards in terms of like total size from like entrance to the back wall, and then an equal amount, 200 yards from the right wall to the left wall. So there is like, it's not, I wouldn't say that it is heavily guarded, but there are people who are watching like the different sides of it. In addition to the 2 snipers at the top. So from what you guys can tell, in terms of how you could go about this is just like me as the DM kind of giving you some scenarios here. There's a few ways that you could go about this. Obviously, Sir, you have this stash of spice that you guys could try to trade for this Toydarian. You could try to sneak past the guards in the watchtower, but given the fact that this is like an open area with no blockage and not an easy way to stealth through, probably not the best idea. You could try to like cause a distraction and pull these snipers down from their posts individually and deal with them that way. Or you could search around the compound, like I said, during Matt Lou's kind of like top-down view, to see if you could sneak into it, like through some of these openings in like the shoddily put together walls around the area. And there's also the possibility of you guys trying to talk this out with them and seeing if you could make some sort of trade for this Toydarian with the spice that you have.
Matt Lou thinks usually go berserk, but since we use droid, I say we search for secret entrance.
I mean, I feel like we got the spice. What else are we going to do with
Matt
it?
Lou could keep spice, Cert.
I think keep that in your pocket. Let's yeah. I gotta go back in the Australian.
Zavu, do you need to
spice.
take your...
Let's keep the spice in your pocket.
Zavu, do you need to take break before we move?
I'm fine for now, thanks.
Okay.
I would say, where do we know where this slicer is? Do we know where he is? Once we get in there, if we could sneak in there, how do we find him? I mean, if we're not talking to someone, how do we find him?
So Rayla did say that he was working the scrap line. Okay. And based off of what Matt Lou saw on his droid, you know that the scrap line is specifically on the right side of the wall or of this, like, of the enclosure. And you know that the scrap line kind of runs from the length of the wall all the way around to a furnace. And you could see, Matt Lou could see people working the line, but from the distance that droid was, it was very hard to make out like which one could be Crepo. But you do know that there is, like, if you found a way in from the right side, that you would be right on the scrap line. And then you could probably find him pretty easily from there. Toydarians are definitely an easy to pick out species.
That's true.
To the right.
I do also have a detachable cybernetic augmentation hand that I can take off and help with unlocking stuff. So that could come in handy too. I do have that.
There is, yeah. If there is an unlock that needs to happen.
What's the plan though? We sneak in, and how do we get him out from the line? I mean, we've got two. I mean, are we? If we're not going to get into a scrap, then what's the plan?
Use Cert net. Capture him like rabbit. Drag away.
Net. I don't have a net.
You're making things up.
I think as far as the Toydarian goes, it'll be worth it for him to come with us, because then he just gets to get out of there.
Right, but
So-
like speaking outside of if we just show up inside there, and he's working a line that's being guarded, at least on one side from where it is. Like, how do we just say tap him on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me, Repo, would you like to come with us?"
Matlu, use blunt end of axe. Knock out cold.
I got an idea.
That's the
I
point.
got an idea. Are the guards around the outside wearing any type of uniform? Could we maybe confront one of them, knock one out, take the uniform, and one of us can sneak in and...
We know look like Nikto, though, Cert.
All right, they're all Niktos.
They are all Niktos.
Nobody's wearing a helmet or anything?
Well, we've got
no helmets.
Sand
nothing that's like
towers
obscuring their face.
Right, we got 2 sand people in the towers outside.
Zavu have space magic. Why not use that?
The 2 people in the towers are Niktos as well. The Tuscans that you saw were like on your travel to here.
Oh, okay, so they're not here. Okay, there's 2 Niktos in the towers. Okay. How often I can use? That's just 1 per round, though.
What did you want to use?
No, I'm just thinking when we get up there. I'm just trying to make a plan here because I can blind one. But I can't blind both of them. So
we may not even run into the guards sneaking in, right?
It's so yeah. I mean, like
is there a way around it that we don't have to go? I mean, how we get past them if they're at the front door?
That's what the sneaking is. We're not going through the front door.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I guess we could try to be stealthy, but we're in the middle of a desert. I mean, and you're a little teddy bear, so like, how we?
I think somebody should make a distraction. And then the other 2 can sneak in. I know that there's an animal handling under wisdom. If anybody has anything good with that, we can use that to maybe just get one of those dogs to make a scene.
I have
the guard dogs.
Yes, I can handle a guard dog once we get in, but that's inside, right? That's inside.
So basically, so Trevor, to answer your question, like the stealth angle of it, basically. What the probe droid showed was that there are gaps in the walls around the exterior. And since the Niktos are used to like speeders kind of running up and down the flats.
Well, they're not looking at the outside. They're literally like guarding from the inside like
Matlu
prison guard.
Pays attention.
Yeah. So like if you guys were to essentially like ride your speeders past the scrapyard entrance and just like go past it, but then like kind of loop around the back, that would give you an opportunity to like search for gaps in these walls that you could potentially sneak in through that way. So that's one angle at it.
Next time Matlu no longer suggests stealth, just go berserk. This take too long.
So that's one potential angle at it. Your other is to try to see if you could like barter with the spice to get him out that way. You're not sure how that would work. I mean, that like spice isn't necessarily something that like you could sell to anybody and they'd be like, oh yeah, I can like resell it. Like spice is definitely something that is a part of like, it would be like if you were to walk up to a scrapyard owner with like with cocaine and be like, hey, can I give you this cocaine and then I can get my friend out? Like, like a little bit.
Keep that in our back pocket because we don't even want to like let people know who we don't know that we even have this, that we're out here.
Yeah.
And
you could try, and then you could try to like talk your way in. Just say, like essentially like attempt to deceive the guards and say like, hey, I was sent here by somebody to essentially like get this guy out and see if you could like succeed in deceiving them and then pulling them out that way.
I say if we can get around them, then I say we go around, drive past, come back around, loop back, and see if there's a way in.
So Matlu's plan. Glad. Good. We made it.
But what do we do once we're in? Is that when we cause a distraction?
So
I think we take an assessment from where we are and what we see and what's in our path, basically.
So
let's
it's
do it.
hard. Yeah, it is hard to tell, like, once you're inside, what you could do at this point. You know that these patrols are essentially like walking from the back of the compound to the front of the compound. That's what you saw on the cameras. But other than that, it's kind of hard to see like the situation on the ground until you get in. So is that what you guys are going to do? Try to like sneak in through the sidewalls? All right.
Yeah,
So
We're going to go around. Park.
you guys take your speeders, you ride past the entrance gate, and like as you pass, you see that just like the people in the tower just kind of clock you as you drive past. They'll pay you no mind. They're very used to seeing people kind of drive up and down. As you like pass out of their visual range and towards the back of the scrapyard, you guys kind of stealthily come to a stop and get close enough to the wall that like even if they were to turn around and look back, like the full 200 yards back over them, they're not going to be able to see you. The walls are too high, and like your proximity to the walls is in such a place where they couldn't see you. So everybody right now can either make a perception or investigation check. So that's your choice. If somebody doesn't feel like their numbers are high enough, one person can do that with advantage.
I'll search.
Mine are both 0.
I'll search.
I have a +2 investigation.
Okay, so Zavu, you can roll it at advantage, and then Cert, you can roll straight. So you roll 1 and see what you get.
That's a 17.
And then
Perception.
and then Cert, go ahead and let me know what you got.
For investigation, right?
Yeah. Investigation
I got
or
20.
perception, whichever one.
Dirty
I got
20.
a 20 for investigation.
Did you roll a 20 on the dice?
I rolled an 18, but I have a +2.
Okay, 18 plus 2. So you guys, Matt Lou, you're kind of following behind. Cert and Zavu, you guys are making your way like kind of along the crest of this right wall before it gets to the exact back of it, and you see a spot. So, Cert, you see a spot that's like fucking perfect. Like it's large enough for you all to fit through. It's right on the other, like right next to the conveyor belt line where the scrap is coming along. And like you can see that essentially this little spot like comes out behind like a little mound of scrap that's off to the side that you guys could essentially like use cover for once you get out into the open space.
Nice.
So you guys kind of make your way through this hole. You're hiding behind this scrap area. And as you look over the scrap, you can see 2 things. One, the guard is currently walking away from you. Like he's walking towards the front of the gated area. And 2, you see a Toydarian at the end of the scrap line right next to the furnace. And you can tell even from this distance, he looks pretty bad. His skin would be like a navy, like a dark blue. It's fully purple from sun exposure and being this close to the heat of that furnace. He's just sweating profusely. His beard is just scraggly and grown out. His clothes are just singed, and you can see like burn marks on them from just like stray like flares from this furnace, like catching his clothes for a little bit. But you see him, and you can like you see that to get to him, that you can kind of like loop around the side of this scrap pile that you're on, but you will have to expose yourself to get to him.
I think this is perfect for Zavu, for you to use your animal handling to cause a distraction.
When it comes to it,
yeah. So right now
he's gone.
Yeah, the guard has the guard and his dog have essentially like
We have no guard.
walked beyond you.
Target is open.
So like from a visual perspective, his back is to where you would have to go to make contact with Crepo.
Okay. I do have to take a break now.
Okay, so we'll take a quick 5, and then we'll come back and
Think
we will
about what we're
see
gonna do here.
how this all plays out. right. So everybody go ahead and take your breaks.
Cool. Sounds good.
Oh, this is going to be fun to edit.
Fight 5. Just put a nice flat screen above it.
No, I'm just going to put
some music,
the pre-show screen back on, and
I say, or you could just literally just like cut this section just completely out.
But
just
it goes right to YouTube though, so I'm not going to download it and re-edit it and upload it. So it'll just be 5 minutes of dead air.
Yeah. So, and they could skip past it. I mean, like I think you could put like a marker on.
Great job, Nick.
Thank you. Yeah,
yes, super just visually, like giving great visuals and imagery so I can like imagine what's going on. It's great.
Yeah, I've tried, like it's hard to do that with like we don't have any like visual tools right now. If we keep like playing, like if this is something that we keep doing, I definitely want to look to see if there's things that I can do. Cuz there's a ton of like virtual tools that you can do for like D&D. The problem is like getting stuff that would work with like a Star Wars feel, like a spacefaring stuff. Cause mostly it's like, oh, you can have like a dungeon creator where you can make dungeons. You have here's like a cool forest setting and all of this, but there's no like, hey, let's make like a spaceship interior or something like that.
Yeah. I wouldn't even know the first thing about something like that.
Yeah. So it's there's definitely some tools that you can use, but it's not they're definitely not made for like with Star Wars and like spacefaring adventures in mind. So I'm glad that the vocal interpretation is working.
It really is. So I know you have like at least a obvious plan and story of going ahead, but how much of this stuff are you improvising as it happens?
I mean, a lot of it is improvised based off of the choices that you make. Like I can only like in certain instances, like I try to like give you guys direction, especially if it's like if we're at a point to where it's like, okay, there's a decision to be made and like you guys aren't really sure what the best route may be. So like I try to like give you guys some hints there, but a lot of it is just like improvising on the fly about like, okay, well, what are you looking for? What are you trying to do? Do you want to do something like this? Or like even in certain instances, like if there's ever an idea that you guys have, like I want to do this, but I don't know mechanically how to do it. Like you can just tell me like, I want to do this, but I don't know how to do it. And I can like in the session, just be like, okay, if you want to do this, here's how we'll do it. Make this roll. Let's do this. Let's see how these rolls play out. And then we can basically like make anything happen. It's just like finding the way to get there through like rolls, through using movement and exploring different areas. So, I mean, up to this point, like I have the whole session written out, and this one's gone like pretty much according to like how I thought it would go, like with some like deviations here and there with like stuff that you guys tried or that you guys asked about. But yeah, I mean, like you just like as like doing what I'm doing, you just got to be ready to like fucking to improvise.
All right,
yeah,
back.
Awesome. All right.
So in terms of like battle when we get, because I mean the first time we did that, it was pretty straightforward and there wasn't a lot going on.
We're fighting in this episode. I'm gonna.
No, I know we don't have like maps. Is what I was getting at. So
yeah. So functionally, what we will do for battle is because it's like all theater of the mind. Like I will essentially direct you if you need to move in a certain way to get into range for any specific spell, or if you're like for Jared, like for you, if you're like to like direct you to get in range for like your shots for your weapon. But it will be like I will describe the combat setup, and then we will kind of go through combat in a normal sense, just with me describing motion and describing how you need to move on the field to be in the position that you want to be.
Right.
So how much do we, again, I don't want to overcomplicate anything, but like how much like of a plan, I know, again, like Critical Role is my thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the only thing I'm going by, but it's a lot more, like we'll go behind the boiler, like I'll hide back there and I'll create a distraction and you guys go up, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, if
do we know where we are approximately, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
how
so
far, you know what I mean? Like, so
yeah, so like in terms of like,
are we just going in like, let's battle?
no, yeah, like in terms of the space, like you guys have visual perspective on this whole space now that you've walked inside. Like you can see, like it's a large area, but like your mission, like you can see who you have to get to, and you can see essentially the path of least resistance there. You also can see that your what would be a potential fight for you, like your quarry has kind of, for at least the time being, walked past you and is not seeing you right now.
And the guards on the other side, they're up in the tower way down, like 200 yards.
Yeah, like they're at the other end near the entrance gate. So you guys probably have 100 yards between you and those snipers up there. And their main visual like priority is outside. Like they're looking for people approaching the yard. Mm-hmm. And like once you're inside of it, they're not really worried about you. The people that you guys need to worry about functionally inside the yard is like this one patrol that's on this side of you walking up and down. And even the other one that is on the other side is so far away. It's like 150 yards away. So it's like, if you've ever been on one side of a football field and somebody's on the other side, like it's pretty far away. And then add even more to that. So like if a scrap were to break out and go down pretty quickly, they may not even notice it. Like, depending on where they are in the
my hangover is shook off. My battle axes are out. Let's fucking do it.
All right.
Well, again, like, just in terms of like how we're gonna do this, like, well, I mean, you're playing your character.
Yeah, I'm running straight in. Like you guys plan too much for my Ewok, so I'm ready to rock.
Is this toy?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Is the Toydarian like cuffed or like shackled or anything like that?
No cuffs, no shackles. He's literally just like on this line working, and you can see that he's like sorting through scrap. Like there are certain things that he's been told to like pull this out, make sure it doesn't go in the furnace. And that's what all of these people along the line are doing. It's like looking for specific things that they were told to pull out of this scrap pile or off of this conveyor belt, and everything else gets slagged, melted down, and then used for other purposes or sold off to other people on Tatooine. So there's no restraints keeping him here.
We technically may not even have a fight, right? I mean, he may want to come with us. He doesn't look like he's having fun.
It seems pretty wide open.
Yeah, so like,
it seems pretty wide open.
Let's make an attempt.
Like the way that this could play out, there may be a fight, there may not be a fight. It all depends on the roles that happen or the actions that you guys take. If you guys say like, fuck it, I want to take out this guard and his dog just to make sure that like we don't have anything that's going to tail us, or we don't have anything that's going to, like potentially like screw up our exfil plan, you can do that. You can take the stealthy approach where you guys kind of roll a group stealth check to see if you can make it to him and like either persuade him or tell him like, hey, we're breaking you out, come with us, and then make your way out. So there's kind of different ways to go about it, just depending on like what your end goal is.
All right. So are we starting up again, or you want to intro it again, or what are we already
just
started?
Go. I mean, this episode's
We're
pretty messy. I don't think anyone's going to get much entertainment out of it, so we're just rolling.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think it's been pretty entertaining. But
yeah, me too.
Well, think about like from the podcast version, like what they're listening to. I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's all theater. All right. What's our plan here? What's our plan of attack? You're a bit of a pistol.
Yeah, yub nub. You guys know my plan.
I don't want to send you straight up.
I say we go for the Toydarian and see what happens.
Okay.
We've
Honestly, that
been
seems like that-
doing too much stealth this mission.
Listen.
I'm ready to go.
I think we can sneak up behind the boiler. I can talk to him because I can persuade him, or I can try to persuade him. Get him to come with us and get the hell out without getting any trouble.
All right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Let's have everybody make a stealth check, and this is going to be like a group stealth check. So everybody roll a stealth check and tell me what you get.
Which die? Are we
11
the
plus
20
3.
on this one?
Yeah, 20 on this one as well.
11 plus 3 for me.
I have 20,
18.
21.
21. And then
Whoa.
Davu, what did you get?
18.
18. So you
Not
guys successfully sneak over kind of behind this furnace area close to where this guy is. The guard does not know that you have made your way up to this point. So Zavu, you said that you want to reach out to him and like persuade him to come with you. You catch
You got
his,
my back, right?
Got your back, man.
All right. So you catch his attention. Do you want to? Are you using anything, or are you just straight up talking to him?
The first thing I'm gonna do is that's a blinding thing though. It's not. Is anybody around him that's going to alert us? I mean, there's other people on the line. Are they going to
The way
say
that
anything, do anything, or we just don't know?
the way that you've positioned yourself is like, because he's at the end of the line and you guys are like on the back end of this furnace, nobody else can really see you. Like you're pretty far into stealth. So like if you kind of like lean over and have a side conversation, it's not like these guys are looking up and down the line, and there's also like a pretty decent amount of space. There's probably, 10 yards of space between each person. So they're not like actively like chattering with each other.
All right, I'm gonna lean around this furnace or an area where there's somewhere that I can see him visually, and I'm going to pull him. I'm just gonna reach out and just grab the back of his shoulder and sort of pull him towards where I am.
Okay. Force pull.
Move up to 30, a medium creature. He's big, right?
So yeah, he would be considered a medium creature. You can use target must make a strength saving throw. An object automatically fails that save. So
I don't want to do
going
damage
to roll
to him. I don't want to hurt him. So I'm going to pull on that a little bit.
So what we're going to do is he doesn't see you, and he doesn't know that he's like his attention is trying to be pulled. So I'm going to roll a saving throw for him. And if he succeeds on that saving throw, he's definitely going to know that something is up here. So it's a strength saving throw. He's going to add 0 to this.
Zavu, use the force.
Your DC is 12 on your saves right now. He rolled a 17, so he resists this pull, and now he definitely looks like he feels something pulling at him, and he definitely notices it and kind of like startled, kind of like looks over to that area and like kind of looks past on the line. And as he looks over in the direction that he's pulling, he sees you, and he is definitely like he hasn't like made any sounds yet, but he's like looking at you startled. So what do you do in this moment? It's very critical in this moment. What happens?
Affect mind. Hey,
okay.
Come here. If you want out, come over here.
Okay. So that's one more. Okay. So he rolled a natural 2. So that means you get to roll this persuasion check at advantage. So roll a persuasion check at advantage.
Oh, what is that? 4? Oh my God.
That's with advantage. You got a 4?
No. This is a persuasion check. Yeah, it's a 4.
With advantage. Okay.
Bitch.
So he is going to roll an insight.
Wait. No. Wait. It's an 11. These are the worst dice. You can't read them.
So
yeah, you need some new
got a
dice.
swirl behind them, like, and half of the numbers are obscured. It's an 11.
Okay, so he's going to roll an insight check. He's got +2.
Okay.
He rolled an 18. He's rolled a 20. So you're not lying to him though. So he looks at you and you say, "Come with me. We're going to help to get you out." And he looks at you and he's like, I don't know who you are, but I want to get the fuck out of here. So
Right.
he is like, he looks around behind him to see, he sees the guard is like nearing the point to where he's about to turn around and start coming back. And he's going to make a stealth check to come off this line and follow you. He is going to have a +1 to stealth. So it's not a great roll. Ooh, he rolled a 9. The guard is now turning to come back towards you. He is going to make a perception check. If it's higher than 9, is going to go down.
Let's go.
This guard
Big
sucks.
number, big number.
Do I have any this is turn, so that I don't have anything else I can do here, right?
Not right now. This is all kind of like bang,
Big
bang.
number.
Mm-hmm.
He rolled a 7 and he has a +3 to his perception. So he sees.
no!
So he does not see you, Zavu, but he sees Crepo leaving the line, and he starts taking off towards you. Taking off towards the Toydarian, who was right next to you. So at this point, what do you guys do? The Toydarian has agreed to come with you, but this guard now sees this guy running off the line.
All right.
And
Can I
We're all kind of
offer?
bunched together, or they're just behind the wall there.
yeah, y'all are all together.
Can
Right,
Can
right behind the
can I challenge the guard while these two make off with the Toydarian?
you can challenge, like you can definitely try to stand up one-on-one with this guy, but it's him and his dog with him. So
it's
you
a
feel like
two-member party. Huh?
it's a two.
I've got a rifle.
Well, what about
We're not
it'd be a two versus-
technically in
Sir Dorkoff and I
combat
take
here.
on the combat while Zavu runs?
I can take care of this dog.
He can take care of the dog.
Okay, so what
distract
do you
the
want to
dog.
try? So this guy notices that Crepo is leaving. He's running back towards the line. What do you want to do to try to get this dog off of his side?
I'm distracting the dog. Beast trick.
Okay. So what are you using?
Beast trick.
Okay,
That's a level 1, so I'm gonna.
it's
have
a
to,
level
what is
1
that?
spell.
4 slots.
Yeah, so you have 4 spell slots. So this will be your first one that you've used, because everything else that you've used right now
Gotcha.
has been at will. Has been an
Gotcha.
at will thing.
Yep.
Because I believe pull is at will and affect mind
So-
is also at will.
He's within range. Intelligence.
If the
of
beast's
4.
intelligence is 4 or higher, the power fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. All right, so let me check, because I have this beast that is going to be in this combat. So let me see what his intelligence is. His intelligence is not a 4. So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you. On his wisdom save, he has a +1. So he's got to be to 12. He's got to roll an 11 or higher to fall under your force power and be charmed by you. He rolled a 9, so that's only a 10. So this beast, like this guy is running up the side of the line, and the
Right,
dog just leaves him. Like the dog just kind of like
okay.
goes off to the side, starts licking himself. So it's just
Okay.
the guard now coming, and you feel like if it's a 2-on-1, you guys could probably take this guy out pretty easily while somebody tries to get Crepo out of the side. So as this guy runs up, who is anybody trying to abscond away with Crepo, or are you guys all three gonna just take this guy out, try to take him out quick?
Let's all
Take
three
him
take
out.
him out.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Everybody roll initiative.
I'm gonna take Crepo back a little bit.
You're gonna take
back
Crepo
up a
back.
little- not backed out. Just I'm gonna back him up a little bit. Just get him out of the fray. Get him out
Okay,
of the
so
way.
you
20
like
feet back. So
you shunt him off towards you essentially like direct him to where that scrap pile was that you guys were hiding behind when you came in.
I'm gonna protect him. I'm gonna stand in front of him. I'm just want to back him up.
Okay, so you put him behind you. You three square up to this guy running at you. and basically what he still doesn't have visual perspective on you. So like he's still running towards Crepo. What I want everybody roll initiative, and we're gonna get into combat here.
Is that a 20?
That's a D20. So roll the 20-sided dice, and then
10.
on your character sheet it should say initiative plus something to initiative.
I've got a 16 plus 3.
19. Okay.
I got a 7 and can't find initiative.
Yeah, I got a 10.
10. Okay,
It
Matt.
should be at the top after when you click the
Initiative's
fist.
in your.
Matt, you have a +1 to
All
initiative.
right, so 8.
Okay. So right now it is Cert with a 19. And then Zavu, you have a 10, right? And then Matt Lou, you have an 8. So I'm gonna roll for the guard. And so I rolled one thing for the guard, and I'm going to roll a perception check to see if he sees you guys. Or
I thought he already saw us.
no, so
Oh no, he only sees.
he saw Crepo like coming off the line, which is a no-no, especially when you're an indentured servant. So he's running to deal with this. Crepo is now like, you guys, like Zavu, you've kind of pushed him behind you as you guys are still hiding behind this furnace. I'm going to make a perception check to see if he sees you guys before combat starts. That's a 15. So I need all of you to roll one final stealth check to see if you get a surprise round on him or not. It's a group stealth check. If you guys average below a 15, he sees you.
You want? Okay.
Oh, come on. I rolled a 1 plus 3.
16.
The natural 1. 16.
9.
Matt, what did you get?
9.
9. That is below a 15. So Zavu, as you move this guy behind you, he sees you and combat is initiated. So Cert, you are first.
What's up, buddy?
All right. Hey, Charlie.
I'll be up in a little bit. Hopefully.
Should I
needs
just
to
use
eat.
my disruptor?
Yeah, so you can use your disruptor carbine. He is within range for your disruptor carbine. So yeah, you go ahead and roll the D20, add 5 to whatever you roll.
Ooh, 20.
Natural
Plus
20.
5.
So
Natural
what you
20.
do is roll 1d8, and then you double the number that you roll on the dice, and then you add 3 to it.
Which is okay. So I rolled the D8 and then what? Sorry.
So yeah, so roll your d8, and then whatever you get on that dice, you double that.
3. So 6.
6 plus 3, because that's your additional damage. So you do 1d8 plus 3. So you do 9 damage to this guy. You shoot your disruptor carbine, and it splashes across his chest, and he like buckles over as soon as the strike hits him. And you can see that he's taken a lot of damage right off the bat, but he's still running at you guys. He like stops for a second, takes the shot, and then like continues to come at you. It is now Zavu's turn.
What is he armed with?
Right now, you can see that this guy has a lig sword. Like he's got like a sword on his back, but then he also has like a standard like blaster rifle in his hands that he's running with towards you. So he can do some melee combat and he can do some range combat. I know that for you, Zavu, you don't have you can't like not much range on your sword or on your light blade.
How far away is he?
He is within like at this point he's within 60 feet of you.
Okay, so it's too far away for.
What are you?
Some force cast.
What were you trying to do?
No, I was going to try and force disarm him, but I mean, I guess I'll run. I don't know what. Oh, Matt Lou's next.
Matt Lou's next. What
I'm
you
gonna
could
hold,
do
I'm
is
gonna
you
hold. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold
Okay.
and just guard this guy. I'm just gonna defensive stance. Get ready. I think I have something with defensive stance. I can't remember this, but maybe I guess not. No, I guess not. Okay.
Okay, so you hold your action until Matt Lou goes.
Yeah.
Matt Lou, it's your turn. This guy is running at you. If you could probably run out to meet him in melee combat.
Yeah, I want to do a reckless attack.
Okay, so Matt Lou runs out like
Fully expected that.
Sir Dorkoth
Guns ablazing.
leans out, takes a shot, gets back into cover. Matt Lou, you run out to meet this guy head to head, and you guys start to throw down in melee combat. Give me a reckless attack. So that's roll with advantage. So roll twice and take the higher.
20.
Natural 20. Two
Yeah.
nat 20s in a row.
And then a 2, so I'll take the
so-
20.
Yes. So, Matt Lou, you have your tech axe. So you go ahead and roll 1d6, and then what you get on the dice, double it, and then add 2.
Which one's the D6?
The square dice.
Got you. It's a 6.
So 12 plus 2. This guy had already taken 9 damage. You do 12 plus 2, which is 14 damage. You run up to this dude and you just cleave him right across that spot that Sir had hit with his rifle, and his chest spills open. Green blood oozes out, and he just face plants into the sand, dead. And as far as you could tell, this happened so quickly. You guys two-shot this guy, so he's dead, and nobody has noticed. You've done it quietly enough to where he hasn't been able to raise an alarm. His dog is off, just kind of, running around in circles off towards the entrance of the gate. You guys are clear to make your way out with Crepo. If you make your way back through the other way.
Can I do a quick look around to see if there's any good stuff that I can stick in my backpack?
Give me a quick perception check. Yes.
Yeah.
Because we are in a scrapyard. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 9.
A 9 perception check. Like, you're looking along this line, and like you're like in the haze of battle. You just see a bunch of like metal, like Duracell scraps and shit like that. You don't see anything of value that you could like easily grab and make your way out with.
Good try,
sir. You guys have
Thanks,
your target with you. Crepo's with you. You have your escape route. And
Feats don't
he's
fail
just
us
gonna
now.
have to. Yeah. So you guys run towards the exit. You don't need to make a stealth check right now because you're the closest person to you is over 100 yards away and has no idea that you guys are there. Nobody sees you right now. You're starting to see like some of the people down the line a little bit further are starting to like look up, and they've like heard this guy hit the ground, and like one dude on the line like turns around and sees this guy's dead body. At that point is right when you guys are at the entrance to where you got in. So you sneak out, and then you hear from the other side of the wall, people kind of on the line start to like, they're moving. Like they realize like, oh shit, this may be my chance to go.
Okay.
They start to break out off of the line. And as they break out off of the line, you hear from the other side of the facility, hey, get back on the line. And the other guard starts to run over to them. You guys are right by your speeders. You can speed her up and start to head back out.
See, just before you said all that, I was about to like tell everybody. I'm like, I think we should free everybody here. I think we should get all these people out of here. I think we have the ability to do it. And if they're all running,
let's do it.
And they're free. Where are they going to go? They can't get out
Exactly.
of here.
You guys must be sniffing my spice. Let's get the hell out of here.
I think I might be sniffing some spice.
Let's free him. That was a breeze.
So
yeah, but now they know. Now they know who we are. We no longer have the advantage. Let's get the hell out of here.
I was gonna say. So right now, you guys, like, people are getting alert. You've heard the other guard. The other guard's alerted. The people in the tower are definitely alerted too. If you want to, you can try You can try to take out the other guard and his dog. I will say that the one thing that you guys will have to keep in mind is that you do have
the snipers.
two people up.
We must
in
go.
Sniper nests.
We must go.
If you can, you can see if you can get some cover, but you will definitely need to have cover if you want to engage in combat with the other guard versus these snipers.
Yeah,
we've only had to take one life, Jedi. Look at it that way. You know, if we go back, we'll be killing more. You guys don't like killing.
So we don't know how many
Zabu,
exactly people that are not on
There's
the
3
line.
guards, 2 snipers, and a guard and a dog.
That's it?
Zabu, give me an intelligence check.
That's not good.
What is it?
Hang on. What's my intelligence here? What is my intelligence? Where is it? No, it's 0. 6.
6. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say this, even on a 6, you make eye contact with one of these linesmen and he sees you and you see him. I'll give you a persuade. I will say this. You reach out with the force to this guy and I'll give you a persuasion check to essentially try to show him this exit that you guys have made for them to try to get out without directly engaging. So go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Oh my God, man. Persuasion, I think I have a 2
Told
here.
you, we should have
No,
left.
I do not. 5.
Okay, so you lock eyes with this guy. He sees you. You try to like reach into his mind to say like, "Hey, this is a way out." He's like in a panic. Like this guy. You don't know how long this guy's been here. You don't know what he's been up to or like what his state of mind is. He's in a panic, but he sees you and then you disappear. So at the very least, this guy knows that there may be another way out than running through that front door.
All right.
There you go,
Can I do one
Zavo.
last
You
thing?
can still become a Force ghost. You goody two-shoe.
It's a one creature. Is there something coming? Can I see anything coming after them, or there's nothing directly?
From the other side of the yard, from like where the other like stations were, that wasn't the conveyor belt. You see that guard running at them. He's probably still about 80 yards away. And then at where you are now, the other closest people are the 2 snipers on the tower.
God, take this one guy out. I mean, we're far enough away that the snipers probably could hit us, I suppose.
Snipers, yeah.
Matlu on the speeder gone.
Matlu's
Who's
on a
taking
speeder.
this guy with us? He's got to go with you.
Crepo can fit on a speeder. Like he can like essentially like when you're riding 2 to a horse, you can ride like that.
Toydarian, same size as me. We out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Matlu and Crepo they're on their speeder and they're tearing off. And then
all right.
So Zabu,
let's go.
Zabu, you're good. You tried your best. Zabu tried his best to save as many as he could.
We're coming back.
But it's chaos right now. People are in the midst of like figuring out like this may be their chance to break out. You have guards running in. You have snipers that are starting to take visual perspective of it at everybody on this field. You guys tear off in your speeders. And because of the commotion and the snipers looking back into the yard, they're not looking out at you guys as you speed your way off back onto the Bomar Flats out towards the direction that you're going. So you guys have successfully exfiltrated Crepo from this situation. And for now, we will call it a session and we will pick up from here next time.
Nice. We got a Toydarian.
Crepo and I chilling on a speeder.
Yeah, maybe he can become part of our squad. I mean, I don't know how useful an old, decrepit.
I just like that. He's all burnt purple and looks like shit.
Right. He probably can't do much. He can slice
hey,
slice stuff.
You guys got it done. You guys,
All right.
you definitely made the combat easier on yourself than it would have been. If that dog was there, you probably would have been a little bit harder. But 2 natural 20s
move,
on one
Zabu.
guy is gonna take him out. So
I think I
make a
think I
pretty
should
good
have played
team.
that differently. But
Matlu happy. I
Hey.
spilled blood today.
next time, I'm gonna play a little closer to my type a little bit next time. But
well, hey, I mean, there's no.
Yeah, you tried your
I
best.
don't want to get
I
everybody
will say,
killed. You know what I mean, or myself.
Like I said, you
but
got
there's,
again, Jedi. They don't like killing
We gotta
people.
get used
I
to
told you, it's like we limited death to 1 person. You should have been happy
Yeah.
with that, Jedi.
Yeah, but I'm not quite a Jedi, so
Yeah. No, I mean, you guys definitely. I will say this: there was like the improvisational moment of using that beast trick was big because the combat could have definitely gone on a little bit longer and potentially attracted more attention. So that in itself was a huge like intra-combat move that like really swung things heavily into your favor. 2, like you guys successfully stealthed through a majority of this, and if you would have failed 1 stealth check, you would have been in combat immediately.
Yeah, that was easy for us. Did you put the dogs in the situation in hopes that we would do something like that?
Not
An animal
necessarily.
thing?
Like the dog itself was more of like it fit like it was like a junkyard dog, you know, like you
Right,
guys are in a
it just fit.
scrapyard, junkyard dog type of thing, and it was also like like just a little like behind the scenes thing. It was combat like balancing. Because 1v3 with that one guy that you guys did fight, super easy as you saw. 2v3 with an animal, that balanced the fight out a little bit more. It gave you 2 targets. You could have potentially like split focus between both of them, and that battle could have drug on a little bit longer.
Mhm.
If you wouldn't have rolled as well, you guys would have been in battle a little
It's
bit
a little
longer.
disdain in that there, Nick.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, it basically what would have happened is like if that every round that combat goes on is another chance for somebody in there to see you
see
guys.
us, yeah, I know.
Hey,
And then you
Yeah, I
would
mean,
have
I
had to
guess
make a
we did a good
decision
job.
like, do we run? Like, do we finish this combat or do we try to just get the fuck out of here before we really alert everybody?
I keep forgetting that we're like level 2 too. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah, do we
Wait,
get any
yeah, we get
XP
the
or
rank
anything?
up there. DM.
So no
Right.
rank up there yet. So you guys did get experience, but you don't have to tag it yet because we'll do like I will tell you guys when you level up. You got experience with the kill. You got experience with successfully completing your mission.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Now-
didn't lose any
Do we
HP
get
or
any
anything.
achievements?
Yeah. Achievement. Yeah.
Any
I mean, like if I'm
trophies?
putting achievements on it, you guys did this mission
With no
without
damage.
taking a point of
Damn
damage.
straight.
Like, yeah.
See?
So
You just gotta rely on
That
the
was-
the drunk, cracked out Ewok. I got it.
yeah.
Rolling 20s.
We made it.
Yeah,
we made
exactly.
it.
so let
2 natural
Nick,
20s
like,
in a
how
row.
are you? Like, are you taking into? And I know we're just starting out this, but like I
Yeah.
love this stuff. So like taking into account like just playing the character and stuff like that. Like Matt Lou obviously is, but I feel like I would have tried to get a little nuts and try to save people and fight a couple of those guys too. So I don't know. I just feel like I gave up only because I thought the odds were like against us. But
Yeah, I
Because they
mean,
were. You know, you did what you had to do. There was
there's no like
real
I
other
will
option for
say
you.
that like there's definitely like I was giving you those moments. Like I knew you wanted to try to do something. I knew you wanted to try to like engage or like do what you could to get those people out. So like
yeah,
I gave you those moments to be like, you know, like
Yeah.
when you were trying to reach out to that guy, when you were like assessing the situation and seeing like, you know, what the real stakes were. So like, that's why I wanted to give you those roles. It's for you to
Yeah.
like figure out like, I'm doing what I can.
Yeah.
Without like necessarily like sacrificing your life. Because realistically, if you
Yeah, I'm
guys, yeah, like if you guys would have gotten into a combat, there is a world where like you pull that other guard over and you stay out of visual range of these snipers and they would have to come down from their tower.
That's what I
But
was
then
trying to
it's,
get.
then it's another like combat race. It's like another combat race because at that point the snipers know something is going on. So if they don't see it and they see a guard running in one direction,
now we got 3-on-3 and
they're coming down. So there's a world where like you can try to take out that dog guard combo and then get out. And then it's a little bit more like, hey, these people can all now like probably overpower those 2 snipers and go out. But there's also a world where like they outnumber these people. They're outgunned for sure, but they outnumber the 2 snipers and the other guard. It really comes down to like, do these people want to like just murder everybody here? Is that like the type of people that they are? Or are they just going to be like as soon as like somebody gets taken out and a gun gets taken from one of these Nictos, are they just gonna be like, whatever, get the fuck out of here? Like, not worth my life.
Well, plus I'm thinking that these are their workers. They're not going to just slaughter them all. So
yeah,
to escape.
No, I mean you definitely gave it like a super good try. Like, you like
the old Jedi
like
try,
shit, which is the other reason I said.
You rolled really well on stealth, not so well on persuasion.
Hey, so, real quick, let me take this off so I can end the stream, and then because I need to eat, so I'm starting to get a little loopy.
No, yeah, for sure.
Hey, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this experiment. It was episode 1. We're getting there. We'll get a flow. We'll get a flow down. We're all still learning. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Just remember, next week we'll be dropping episode 0, which is maybe even a little more wonky than this one. But stay tuned. There's always time for Star Wars time, right? StarWarsTime.net.
Comment below your favorite character.
Let's go.